What's a God to a non-believer who don't believe in anything? Oh, make it out alive. All right, all right. No church in the world. All right, what's up, everyone? Hope that you are doing well tonight. We are doing. Welcome to. Okay, let's start from the top. What's up, everyone? My name is Just Wayne, and I am here for another episode of For the Record, a show where we take an album off the wall, pun intended, and we talk about the content of the album. Not only what was happening around it, but how it made us feel. Talk about the content. Got it. Do this one time. All right. One more time. What's up, everybody? I'm Just Wayne, and welcome to For the Record, a show where we take an album off the wall, pun intended, and we talk about the context of the album, what was happening around it at the time in our own context. What did we feel when it hit us? We talk about the content of the album. What is happening track by track on this album? We have time to talk about our hot takes on the album in a contest. And finally, we have a concert. And today we are reviewing Watch the Throne, which turned 15 years old this last week. And it's insane to think that an album like Watch the Throne can be 15 years old. I don't think that 15 years ago should have been a thing that was happening. Now, if you're on TikTok, which, by the way, we're being watched on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, thank you so much. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me, and I am grateful for that. I do want to... we will talk about because of the internet in December that's happening. I do want to take a second. If you're watching this on Facebook, Instagram, or Facebook, you're probably seeing the ticker that we have running right now, which simply says that this album, the reviewing of this album, is not an endorsement of the actions of Kanye West. I think that's super duper important. We're not telling you to go out and download or buy the record, but we are taking the time to talk about albums that are influential over time. There's going to be a lot of artists that we're going to cover, whose albums we're going to cover during the course of doing For the Record, that might have made questionable decisions across their career. And I just think it's super duper important that we hold that intention while at the same time taking the time to talk about these albums, because they did matter and they did hit. And I would posture and argue, and we'll talk about this more when we get to the contest section of this particular episode, that Watch the Throne is the best rap collab album of all time. Of all time. Jay-Z at his peak, Kanye at his peak, production at its peak, luxury rap, the Hermes, the verses, sophisticated ignorance, write my curses in cursive. This album is so interesting. And I would argue that you can't actually have a conversation about this album without having a conversation about what is happening in the world of music at that time. Because Kanye is making a comeback at this point from all we have to say is Taylor Swift VMAs, right? It is a night that literally launched two villain arcs, in my opinion. The night that Taylor Swift won the VMA that Kanye was presenting, and he took the microphone from her and said, "Taylor, I'm gonna let you finish, but Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time." The moment that he did that, I think he launched two villain arcs. We know this in part because Taylor literally comes back with an album called Reputation. Ooh, look what you made me do. Look what you just made me do. Look what you just made me do. And then you have Kanye, who comes back with My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, in which he is writing a love letter, in essence, to the entirety of what it meant to be famous and dealing with the after effect of kind of getting booted from fame and getting canceled because of what he did to Taylor, which wasn't okay. Like, it was not okay to steal Taylor's moment in that. And I think what's funny is, like, so much of interacting with Kanye at that time, and I will say I am a reformed Kanye apologist, so much of interacting with Kanye, Reputation was years later, yes. So much of interacting with Kanye at that time was trying your best to justify things, because as much as he said things that were not cool or not the right time, you could be like, man, okay, but like, listen, like, single ladies was, that deal, right? So like, it was easy for some of us to be like, yeah, it wasn't cool that he got up there and stole the moment from Taylor, but like, was it You Belong With Me? Is that the music video that Taylor had? The one with like the sign, and like that video just was simply, it wasn't as good. I actually have an entire video on YouTube called It's Not the New Kanye, He's Always Been This Way, in which I document all kinds of instances from the beginning of Kanye's career all the way through to where we landed with the anti-Semitism and all those different things. So like the fact that all of that happened from the beginning parts of his career, when he says on College Dropout, that's why me and Dame cool, we assholes. That's why we hear your music in fast forward, because we don't want to hear you play it no more. Don't get my hands up. So that's part of what it felt like. So we have that. We also have Jay-Z, who technically retired after the Black Album in 2003, but came back from that retirement with Kingdom Come, which did fine. The Blueprint 3, which I personally believe the Blueprint 3 is an album that does not get the love it deserves. I think that's a phenomenal album. And then we start getting into some of the work that he's doing, the collabs he's doing with Beyonce, and we find ourselves, right, because I think the Blueprint 3 was 2009, like Run This Town and all of that. We find ourselves on the other side of that, where him and Kanye decide, after all of these different, there was Good Music Friday, so Kanye was like putting music out every Friday. Jay-Z is just in an era where like he's super wealthy, he is married to Beyonce, and he's making music because he wants to, not necessarily because he has to at that point. So we get a very, very free Jay-Z on this album, and we get a Kanye who is producing and rapping for his literal life. I mean, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, as much as Kanye doesn't particularly love that album, he'll tell you, feel like it was his apology album. He said it, that he made it because he felt like he had to. As much as he might feel that way, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy is an absolutely perfect album. You then move over to this album where he is still in the space where like he's still doing everything for his life. Like he's still doing everything for his life, and he's trying to figure out like how to keep all the things he's doing through. And that's where we find ourselves with this. Now, I will also name that when this album dropped, I was in my super saved era. This came out in 2011. I like consider myself being super duper uber saved in 2009, going in 2010. So for me, I was trying my best to distance myself from all secular music. I was taken over as a youth pastor in 2010. So my interaction with like Kanye's My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy when it first dropped was the Power music video. And I was just like, oh, this is demonic. So you got that, and so you have that. For me, it took like years later, actually, once I like got over feeling like I couldn't listen to secular music, of going back and listening to Pablo when it dropped. I listened to Pablo, then went back and listened to this, and I was like, oh, this is super good. The more I have listened to it lately, it's like, man, this thing is incredible. So tonight we're going to take the time to go through this album that I am arguing is the best collab album. And maybe, just maybe, it's a good thing I didn't listen to it when it first came out. Because like I said, anything I was listening to during that time where I was just trying to be right, want to be saved, want to be whole, anything I was listening to during that time, I was listening to through the lens of, oh, what is this doing in my spirit? I'm grown now, and in my grownness, this album hits incredibly well. And I also think it's hilarious that the first track on it is No Church in the Wild. And it is one of those, like, you've heard the beat from this album on car commercials, but we get Frank Ocean right as in the middle of, like, he had just dropped Channel Orange, or he's just about to drop Channel Orange. So he's at the peak of his powers. You've got Kanye, you got Jay-Z, and every single person on this particular track does their thing. And so we're going to start at the top of this album with No Church in the Wild. Like I said, if you are watching on Facebook, let's back up. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure that you stop and subscribe, like the video, share it, post it to your socials. If you're watching this on Instagram, which I was trying to keep track of the chat over there as well. please like, share the video, share it to your stories. Let everybody know that we are going through this album. Everybody watching on TikTok, I love y'all. I see y'all. Spicy Shih Tzu, what's up? Thank you so much for the shout out. I hope you're still listening to my music. I love it. I love making music. And I love talking about music. And I'm just so glad that you were here. So we are now watching The Throne. Don't let me into my zone. I'm definitely in my zone. Starting at the top. Once again, before we drop into this, I want to be clear. We are against all forms of hate here at Winomi Studios. This is a public service announcement brought to you by Just Wayne and the good folks at Winomi Studios, which is the company that I started for all of this. We are against all versions of hate that exist in the world. We do not condone the actions of people who are hateful. We are people who are willing to have conversations about art, because we believe that in having conversations about art, we can point at the flaws in individuals and also point at the impact those individuals who were flawed had in the world. So 15 years later, right here on For the Record, Winomi Studios, I'm Just Wayne. This is For the Record, and this is No Church in the Wild.
Things in the mind. What's a mind to a king? What's a king to a god? What's a god to a non-believer? Who don't believe it?
Hey. They're making out alive.
Tears on the mausoleum floor. Blood stains the Colosseum doors. Lies on the lips of the priests. Fists giving disguises of peace. Rolling in the Rolls Royce Capiche. Only the doctors got to some hiding from police. Cocaine seats. All white like I got the whole thing bleached. Drug dealers chic.
I wonder if the thugs prayers reach.
It's pious, God loves pious.
He's asking the price we all seek.
Off Plato. I'm out here balling, I know you hear my sneeze.
Jesus was a carpenter, easy he made beats. Overflow the Holy Ghost, get the hell up out your seats. Preach. I love when rappers have been reading, and you know they've been reading by some of the references they make. And when Jay-Z starts making Socrates references in the middle of the song, I'm like, oh, somebody's been reading. And that reading is showing up in your rap. I mean, perfect first verse to open the album. Like, oh my God, you've been reading books, and just like tears on the mausoleum floors. It's just, oh my God, such an incredible way to start this record. And it's Jay, it's Jigga being Jigga, right? And what I love, the contrast we get in this album, because there are actually times where I think Kanye out-raps Jay-Z, which is an absurd thing to say. But each one of them shows up precisely as they are. So we get Frank Ocean, and we're going to get Ye showing up as himself. Yes, and the Saved by the Bell reference. Yes. Yeah. Coke when I'm light skin, gonna stripe like a zebra. I call that jungle fever. Come on. Just won't read up until I get me some.
We formed a new religion. No sins as long as there's permission. And deception is the only felony. To never fuck nobody without telling me. Sunglasses and Advil. Last night was mad real. Sun coming up a.m. I wonder if they got calves still. Thinking about the girl and all that. Who was rubbing the wood like Kiki Shepherd. 2 tattoos, 1 red. No.
Other way, love is cursed by monogamy. It's something that the pastor don't preach. It's something that... Man, I miss the old Kanye. Because the pain ain't cheap. Preach. Can we just coke on a black skin made a stripe like a zebra? I call that jungle fever. Oh my God. I miss this. And miss the old Jay-Z too. Listen, what we are getting on this song right off the bat is like an absolute masterclass in and just preview of like, this is how we're going to go. I also love one of the things I love about the way both Jay-Z and Kanye set up their albums, because I think that they are masters at how they set their albums up. Or I should say they were masters in their like prime peak years in setting up their albums where the first track kind of feels theatrical. I mean, on My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, we get can you get much higher, so high, ha ha ha, bum bum bum. And then, you know, we get what they talking about, right? We get like this real futuristic sounding thing on the Blueprint 3, right? We get took the clothes off my back whenever I learned to dum like you like and I still don't know why I love it so much. We get this real theatrical thing where it's like, it's, oh my God, it just feels like you're entering this film, and it's like the euphoria as you start up. And once we get that euphoria, we also get this element that we're gonna hear a bunch of times on this album, where it's like Kanye puts in this musical sample that lets you know when a scene is ending. That's my best explanation of what's happening, is that a scene has ended and we get this I should have gone further. No. You think liftoff is a blemish? Here we go. This. So for me, that is the signal on any particular track that whatever scene that it was in was happening on the album. It's like there'll be a series of songs that happen together. That lets us know that particular scene is ending, and we're now getting ready to transition to a new thing. So this was the preamble. This was the prologue. We're ending the prologue with this. Now we're about to go into how I start my workouts every day with this next song. Here we go. Come on, B. Can we just say that every time Beyonce is on a song with Jay-Z, Beyonce bodies Jay-Z, whatever's happening? Like we're not going to get into it tonight. We will do the Carters as one of the albums that we review at some point. But ape shit, spend my money fast, go fast like a Lambo. Screw. Every time Beyonce is on a song with Jay-Z, she steals the show. Like when they did On the Run. I don't care if we on the run, long as I'm next to you. Dun. Right? Like every time she's on, and this is this hook by Beyonce carries the song. Lift off, lift off, taking my coat off. My tattoos, I'm such a show off, huh? I feel the pain and roll off.
I got the whole city, they about to go out. How many niggas with me up in the eye? How many people wanna roll on me line? Like you know me, you know me, know me right now. We gon' take it to the moon, take it to the stars. How many people you know can take it this far?
Yes. Yeah, Beyonce and Ye carried this song because I don't like Jay-Z's verse on this song. I like Ye's verse, and obviously I love what Beyonce's doing. I do not like Jay-Z's verse. I get what you're saying. Lift off. We pissed off. So a comment on TikTok said this entire album is filled with just like braggadocious decadence, and this song doesn't fit. Yes, I would agree, except for conceptually, I understand why it's here. Conceptually, it's meant to take us to the point where they're going to be like, I invented swag, popping bottles, putting supermodels in the cap. But I understand where you're coming from. He just had to get a verse off. It wasn't really the one. The outro of the song is my favorite part of the song. The outro is my favorite part of the song. And I want an entire song with the beat that they flip to.
15 seconds. Guidance is internal. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey. Hey. Now before we go to Brothers in Paris, before we get to Neighbors in Paris, okay? I need you all to understand how good a song or a sample has to be for me to hear a set of words from a movie and to not identify it with the movie, but to identify explicitly with this song. Because when I hear we're going to skate to one song and one song only, something in my body activates. Like when I hear that, I'm immediately like, and partially is because these songs are on my gym playlist. But as soon as I hear, like, no one knows what it means, but it's provocative, gets the people. That's not a movie. That's Neighbors in Paris. So let's do it.
We're gonna skip one song only. So I ball so hard, motherfuckers wanna find me. First thing I gotta find me. What's 50 grand to a motherfucker like me? Can you please remind me? Ball so hard, this shit crazy. Y'all don't know that those shit fake. And as we go, over 82 when I look at you like this shit crazy. Ball so hard, this shit weird. We ain't even Pope be here. Ball so hard since we here. It's only right that we be fair.
Psycho, I'm lipo, just go Michael. Take your pick. Jackson, Tyson, Jordan, Game 6. Got a broke what? No, Lisa, don't TikTok. Ball so hard. You escape what I escape. You be in Paris, get. Ball so hot. Okay, time out. All that mess I was talking about in the last song about Jay-Z, just, man, it's just a verse. It's just a verse. It didn't really do much. No one knows what it means, but it's provocative. His verse in the last song didn't really do much. He was like, oh no, on this one, this right here, this right here, it's Cryptochronicana light. Like, Jay was gonna come in and absolutely do what he needed to do on this particular song. Jay came in and was like, listen, I'm liable to go Michael, take your pick, Jackson, Tyson, Jordan, Game 6. Like, listen, if you escape what I escape, you be in Paris getting fucked up too. Like, come on. And I think one of the best ad-libs ever. That shit crack. That shit crack. That shit crack. That shit crack. She said, yeah, can we get... I said, look, you need to come and meet me in the... and show me why you the... Ain't it, Jay? What she order? Like this again, she don't want to dance, but I'm in France. I'm just saying, Prince Williams ain't do it right if you ask me, cause I was him, I woulda. A little bit of lore. Mary-Kate and Ashley were literally in the hotel. So like when they were making this album, they were recording this album in different hotels. Like they would rent out a floor of a hotel in Paris, right? Like they're going around the world. At one point they're in Abu Dhabi. Like, I mean, they were in Hawaii for some of it, and Sydney, Australia for some of it, New York for some of it, Paris. Like, so they're all over the world. All over the world. And at one point they're in a hotel, and Mary-Kate and Ashley are literally in the room as they're making this music, because he said, well, Jay knows what'll get the dudes on the block, but Mary-Kate and Ashley knows what the pop girls want to hear. So he literally, Prince Williams ain't do it right if you ask me, because I was him, I would have Mary-Kate and Ashley. And they're there for this. That is an incredible story in my estimation. And also I think it's super hilarious. Like, if you ask a white person what the name of the song is, like if you ask a white person, oh, so what's the name of that song? Kanye and Jay-Z in Paris. So there's a video, and I want to find it so bad. It was on TikTok back in like 2021. And this guy's at a club, and he asked this girl, and he's like, what's the name of this song? And she goes, that shit cray. Right? And he was like, who's in Paris? And she goes, Mary-Kate and Ashley. Like, but oh my gosh, Mary-Kate and Ashley in the room for that. What's that jacket, Magilla? Doctors say I'm got my and they going gorillas. No one knows what it means, but it's provocative. Gets the people. My speakers are like. You are now watching the throne. Don't let me get in my zone. You know how many I own? Huh? The stars is in the building. Their hands is to the ceiling. I know I'm about to kill it. I got the feeling you are. I'm definitely in my zone. Man. That is a song that can be played anywhere and it will go up. So far, we've got the cinematic introduction, No Church in the Wild, featuring Frank Ocean. We have the transition from the prologue into the experience with Beyonce. We've got them like, you are now watching the throne. Oh, we're in it. We feeling it. The stars is in the building. Their hands is to the ceiling. I know I'm about to kill it. I know I got that feeling. You are not, right? And then they get to to me, this song is the best. Like, I don't even know how to describe it. Otis is like that song is like club. This it makes it easy. Production, sampling, and they gonna trade fours like crazy. Listen.
Sounds so, you don't you agree?
Ow! I invented swag. Popping bottles, putting supermodels in the cab. Proof. I guess I got my swagger back. Truth. New watch alert. New blows. Or the big face rolling. I got two of those. All from city to the city. I'm a new cut back, snap back, see my cut through. I'm sorry, I'm not, this isn't a dissect channel, but like, new watch alert, Hublot, or the big face roller that got two of those. Then cut back, snap back, see my cuts through the holes. Running back, cut back, you can see the hole off its line. Snap back, hole in niggas act real reckless, stunt man. I adopted it because Philip jumped in. Come on. Three's coming. They say I'm crazy while I'm about to go dumb again. They ain't see me because I pulled up in my other bands. Last week I was in my other bands. Photo shoot fresh. Look, I'm about to call the paparazzi on myself. Roll up a Yeezy the wrong way, I might murk you. I might surface. Asylum can't be purchased. Everything's for sale. I got 5 passports. I made Jesus walks. I'm never going to hell. Couture level flow was never going on sale. Luxury rap. The Hermes, the verses, sophisticated ignorance. Write my curses. My God. Luxury rap. The Hermes of verses. Sophisticated ignorance. Write my curses in cursive. I get it custom. You a customer. You ain't custom through going through customs. You ain't been nowhere, huh? This entire section of the verse is some of the best rapping that Ye has ever done. Ever. This music video dropped. They're in that torn apart Maybach, right? It's not DJ. What DJ is it out of New York? Somebody needs to remind me. It took him 30 minutes to get through this song because he was like, if you in a bodega right now in New York, stick your hand in the cash register for no reason. Like Hot 97 to Funk Flex. Like if you like like just we gotta run that part back. I know I talked over it. That's my fault. I want y'all to enjoy the song too. I'm just over here enjoying myself. Photo shoot fresh, looking like wealth. I'm about to call the paparazzi on myself.
I'm going to jail. I made Jesus walks, I'm never going to hell. Couture level flow is never going to sale. Luxury rap, the Hermes and verses. Sophisticated ignorance, write my curses and curses.
I get it custom. You a customer. You ain't custom to go. You ain't been nowhere, huh? And all the ladies in the house. I hit you. I'm sorry. I'm gonna be like Funk Flex apparently, and gotta slow this down. I get it custom. You're a customer. You're not custom to going through customs. You ain't been nowhere, huh? And all the ladies in the house got them showing out. I'm done. I'll hit you up, may ya. Nah. Like, this is one of his best verses ever. Ever. I might have to do a video one day if he continues his apology tour and I feel like I actually make content about him, about some of his best verses, because to me, some of his best verses aren't on his own music, technically. Like, obviously, there's a collab album. Like, there's the Selfish verse, don't trying to come around acting like Mr. Friendly, or split a spotlight like Mr. Bentley. I spotted her like Spud McKenzie, and for the fake boobies, I paid them Benjis. Like, he's had some bars across time, right? The plan was to drink it till the pain's over. What's worse, the pain or the hang up? Anyway, this is one of them ones to go, I hit you up, Mayana. Nah. Smoking Cubanos with Castros and Cabanas. Viva Mexico, Cubana, Dominicana, all the plugs that I know. Not bad, huh? Listen. Can't you see the private jet flying over you? Maybach bumper sticker, read what we're hoping to do. Jay is chilling, Ye is chilling. What more can I say? Hold up before we in this camp. As you can see, we embodied the Lord, please let them accept the things they can't, and pray that all they pain be. Scream it. Listen. You're not listening. It's not clocking to you that I'm standing on business. He said, hold up. Before we end this campaign, as you can see, we embodied the damn lane. Lord, please let them accept the things they can't change, and pray that all they pain be champagne. Jay-Z did his thing on this. Kanye bodied Jay-Z on this song. We might at this point be like, if we're competing who bodies who, and you know, Jay's the rapper that Kanye looked up to. At this point, he bodies him on Otis. He bodies him on Liftoff. Neighbors in Paris might be I'll give that one to Jay. I'll give Neighbors in Paris to Jay. No Church in the Wild. I'll call that a wash. So right now we got 2 for Kanye, 1 for Jay, and 1 tie. At least for me. Y'all could tell me if y'all got a different viewpoint up until this point in the album. Appreciate everybody over station identification. Everybody's watching on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. I love y'all. Thank you all so much. Make sure you're sharing it. Make sure you're subscribing. Follow on, like if you're watching on any of the socials, make sure you're following me, Just Wayne Creative, everywhere. Make sure you're subscribing. And just know, at the end of the day, I just need you to know. Like, I want to make sure that everybody understands. Wherever you are, whatever platform you're on, listen. What you need? What you need? I got what you need. What you need? Give it up. I love this intro. LOL, white America assassinate my character. Yeah, they trying to break the marriage up. Cause I'm richer. And prior to that, she was moving free base. Puerto Rico 3 days. Sorry, I'm in pajamas, but I just got off the PJ. And last party we had it shut down pre-day. Ain't that where the heat play? Niggas hit ballers these days. Ain't that just like LeBron James? Ain't that just like D Wade? I also need y'all to understand context, like the context of the Heatles just coming together, right? As this album's dropping, LeBron goes to the Heat at this time. Like, the Heatles are now a thing. Every rapper had a LeBron Miami Heat bar. Like, I wrote a LeBron Miami Heat bar at this point. This song is just two rappers in a room just doing it. Like, just absolutely, someone said, in a flow state. They're just bouncing off of, like, bouncing ideas, just concepts, bars back and forth. What's up, motherfucker, where my money at? Where your mommy at? Mommy back. Racks on racks on racks. Hey, backs on backs on backs on backs on backs. Oh shit, it's just blacks on blacks on blacks. Playing racks on tracks. I thought you know $1 million. I'm riding through your hood. You can make I got no feeling. Better left on no strip ass. Me and Bed-Stuy. I took you to the night from the South Shore Drive. I will make Chi-Town. Broken until I die. I love the ending of that too, where like they shout out each other's cities, right? Like that they're in each other's cities, they're shouting them out. It's just, once again, we are coming off of just like, man, it's incredible. Like I said, I would contend best rap collab, and I love when they're just trading bars. I love when they're just trading bars with a James Brown sample. New Day is a fascinating track for me because I think New Day is extremely honest. Matter of fact, did we get the thing? Did I just skip it?
Turn my headphones up.
No, we don't get the thing here. I forgot. Blacks on blacks on blacks on blacks is made backs on backs on backs. Oh, it's just blacks on blacks on blacks. Like, oh my God. What's so funny to me also is one of the things one of the things I always loved about Kanye is we never got like violence bars from him. Like, Kanye wasn't going to go out there and like pretend to be talking about some stuff he wasn't actually talking about. And Jay-Z was consistent. So Jay-Z being like, you gonna make me come to where, like, where's my money at? You gonna make me come to where your mommy at? Have the kids in the corner tie them up where they mommy at. Like, so like this scene that he's created sounds like something that a street pharmacist would create because he's not getting his money. And then he kicks it over to Kanye, and Kanye is like, racks on racks on racks. It's just blacks on blacks on blacks. Like, you know, like, it's like just the way that they kicked it to each other is so fascinating. So, it is so interesting how they played off of each other there. But New Day, I think New Day is one of the most interesting songs to me because I think all the time, just considering where Kanye ends up, like, I would argue, so we get this album, we get Yeezus in 2013. We get Pablo in 2015, 2016. And that's where I came off the train. That was it for me. Pablo was the end of the road, because after Pablo we get The Hat, we get Poopity Scoop, we get all of that. I would argue that this song, the lyrics of it make a lot of sense where you see where Kanye ends up, but also make zero sense. And like, he is incapable of figuring out how to not act a fool. And we hear it where he's like, I really want my son to be a peaceful person who never makes anybody upset, because he can't seem to figure out how not to do it.
Yeah.
Me and the RZA connect. I love Yeezus. I love Yeezus as an album.
And I'll never let my son have an ego. He'll be nice to everyone wherever we go. I mean, I might even make him a Republican. To everybody know that he love white people. And I'll never let him leave his college girlfriend and get caught with the groupies in the whirlwind. And I'll never let him ever hit the telethon. I mean, even if people dying in the world ends. See, I just want him to have an easy life. That like easy life. Just want him to be someone people like. Don't want him to be hated all the time, just don't be like your daddy never was. And I never let him ever hit a strip club. I learned the hard way, there ain't the place to get love. And I never let his mom move to LA, knowing she couldn't take the pressure, now we all pray.
It is incredibly vulnerable for him to be like, listen, I don't want him to have an ego. I might even make him Republican so everybody knows he likes white people. And I'll tell him to stay with his college girlfriend. And I'll make sure that he has an easy life, not a easy life. I'll tell him not to go to the strip clubs. And I'll for sure tell him to never let his mom move to LA. Kanye is one of those people who's extremely complicated because he is legitimately diagnosed bipolar. And we're finding out more recently that there was a traumatic brain injury that happened when the accident happened. And grief is a hell of a drug. And I just sometimes sit back and think, I mean, I think the Black community as a whole has thought so many times, who would Kanye be if not for the Kardashians? Who would Kanye be if not for his mom passing? But also I think there's an element of who would Kanye be if not for the injury, if not for the mental health disorder. And I think he's dreaming in this song, he's imagining a version of him that doesn't make these consistent mistakes. He says, I won't go to, I'll tell him never hit the telephone. Like, George Bush does not care about white people, Black people. Like, I'll tell him never to say that. I'll tell him to never move to LA, never let his mom move to LA. Like, he's grieving his mom. He is regretting the things that he's done, even though they've gotten him to the place that he's at. And I think that's a fascinating thing. Like, I think it's super fascinating that when he talks about what a better life will look like, this is how he describes it. While at the same time, he has the inability to be that. He has the inability to be the thing he's describing. So he's like, my son. And then Jay-Z takes a completely different perspective in his verse. And the perspective Jay-Z takes in his verse, if we can also just name, it's fascinating given the way that the public has run around and criticized and tried to understand Blue. I understand the twins. And try to dig in and be like, okay, what's actually going on with them? You know, and I think it's particularly fascinating as well that one of the people who was loudly yelling about, you know, the like using slurs about the kids is Kanye. I think that's fascinating.
Me and the RZA connect. Me and the RZA connect. Yeah. Sorry, Junior. I already ruined you. You ain't even alive. Paparazzi pursuing you. Sins of a father make your life 10 times harder. I just want to take you to a barber. Arguing on charters, all the shit that I never did. Teach you good values so you cherish it. Took me 26 years to find my plan. More jobs cut the time in half. So at 13, I had my first drink together. Black bar was multi talk. Look the man dead in his eyes. So you know you talk truth when you speak it. Give your word, keep it. And if the day comes, I only see him on the weekend. I just pray for some love on the night that we can see. Promise to never leave him, even if his mama tweaking. Cause my dad left me, and I promise never repeat him. Never repeat him. Never repeat him.
So once again, we get some vulnerability from Jay here, talking about his own dad not being there and the fact that he's not going to be that. Some self-awareness around the celebrity that he's developed and how that celebrity will impact his kids, which it absolutely has in real life. And I think that what's so interesting about it too is there's this version of Jay-Z hasn't 444'd yet. So this version of Jay-Z actually doesn't even understand the depths of his own ego and how they've played into it. So both of these men are thinking ahead to their future kids and trying to figure out how to be better men for them. While at the same time, neither of them has actually gone through the trial nor the tribulation that either breaks them in Kanye's case or builds them in Jay-Z's case. I think that is what makes songs like this, what makes rap incredible. And I think what makes the vulnerability of men in particular very, very interesting. I think once again we get our outro here.
It's a new life for me.
Shout out to Nina Simone. I missed it. We're not getting the outro yet. There we go. Once again, that sound signals that a scene has ended and we're about to move into another scene. And the next song is going to set the scene for the rest of that scene. And I would argue that this next song is the best beat on the entire album. I love this beat and I love this song so much. Here we go. You have no idea what you're dealing with. Something is real as shit. Pop champagne, I can you sip. Better go.
Yeah, that's my bitch. That's my bitch. Shorty right there, that's my bitch. That's my bitch. I've been waiting for a long, long time just to get off and throw my hands up high. Need a good love, need a good love, just to get off and throw my hands up high.
By the way, so first of all, love that beat. Love that beat. Like I always say, like you get artists will give you a little peek into their brain that lets you know, oh, this thing's coming in the next album. Like the synths we get on this song, which like it's like the next stage. the sense that we get on this song is like the next stage from what we were getting on Hell of a Life in Dark Twisted Fantasy. Right? So we go from that to we get this, and then we get the sense that we get in Jesus. So we're getting those peeks into what it is that is happening from a production standpoint. And then I've been waiting for a long, long time. Love. We're gonna get Charlie Wilson in a little bit here when he comes in. Butter. We also didn't mention, just circling back to the last song, to New Day. That's also a win for Kanye. I think Kanye's verse was better. Here we go. Isn't it safe in the watch the throne?
Say I care more about them Basquiat's, Basquiat's, and learning a new word is shot. Through the world, as soon as I hit the club with her. Too short call told me I fell in love with her. See about actors, ball players, and drug dealers. And some lesbians that never love niggas. Twisted love story, true romance. Very Magdalene, from a pole dance. I'm a freak, huh? Rockstar life. It's taking girl with us, that's our life. Hey, boys and girls, I got a new middle. Who's a new old bird just trying to play second fiddle? No disrespect, I'm not trying to be little. With my dick worth money, I put money in the middle.
Or it's like in the middle. Hey. Charlie Wilson. My name is Charlie. Last name Wilson. Absolutely. Love his part. This is one of those where Jay-Z gets him. Because can't break her. It's white, nice boy. All the pretty white cars always all white. I mean, ain't nothing, I'm alone. Back to my Beyonce. You belong in museums. Too good for any of those civilians. Just to get on and pull my hands up. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, for Jay-Z's verse to be like, listen, you want to talk about somebody who's bomb? I'm married to Beyonce. Like, if Picasso was alive, he would have made her. Like, Mona Lisa couldn't fade her. Why all the pretty icons always all white? So put some colored girls in the MoMA, in the Metropolitan Museum of Art. Put some colored girls in the MoMA. Like, excellent. Let me get. And make sure you're liking the live everywhere: Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Black axe rolls, move past and rolls, come down to the jungle, just ask for hoes, move blocks and squares, move apples and pears, with pots and pans, just copy some eggs, my own tie, my daddy did too, paralyzed by the pain, I could barely move, my nephew gone, my heart is torn,
Sometimes I look to the sky, ask why I was born. My faith in God, every day is hard, every night is worse. That's why I pray so hard. Why I pray so hard? This is crazy, God. Just when I thought I had everything, I lost it all.
It's okay, survive.
Can't survive. Let it taste the pain before it goes too far. My dreams is big, reality setting. Let off a clip from an automatic weapon. 2 shots in the door, it died in Vegas. Though it fought so hard, I knew it wouldn't make it. I'm tortured soul, I live in disguise. Rest in peace to the
leader of the Jackson 5.
I died in my sleep, I'm still big pippin'. I ball at the mall, beginning of the end. Where the fuck is the sun? It's been a while, mama look at your son. What happened to my smile? My tears is tatted, my rag in my pocket. I'm just looking for love, I know somebody got it. Champagne for the pain, weed for the low. Goddamn, I'm so high, where the fuck did I go? I'm losing myself, I'm stuck in the moment. I look in the mirror, my only opponent. Where the fuck is the press? Where the fuck is the press? Either they know or don't care, I'm fucking depressed. No crying in public, just lying to judges. Risking my life, I'm already dying, so fuck it, wow. Welcome to the jungle, welcome to the jungle, wow. God damn it,
Man, that's a Jay-Z song. That is a Jay-Z song that Kanye gets 4 bars on. And Jay is like, this is a song about grief and the grief of losing people around you. So if you ever listen to a Kendrick album, if you ever listen to You, loving you is complicated, loving you is complicated, loving you is complicated. This is a very similar song to that lyrically. Like lyrically, what's happening is very much that. It's you're losing people. You find yourself in a position where you feel like maybe you're losing yourself. Like, how do I deal with the success and the survivor's remorse? And I'm trying to pray, but I'm not hearing anything. Like this song is that set to a beat that goes like it's such a great juxtaposition. Like when you just look and listen to the lyrics, what Jay is doing on this particular track, as opposed, and he's just floating on the beat. He's floating on the beat to the point that you would think that he's like saying some real slick stuff. And then you read the lyrics and you're like, oh, he's depressed and he's grieving the loss of life. And he's looking in the mirror and trying to figure out who he is. And he's like, where's the press? Where's the prez? Like where is somebody to actually help me out? Where I'm setting up these prayers and no one's responding. Like it is beautifully done. Beautifully done. If not mistaken, that's the end of that scene. Oh. Before we get to the next track, I think it'd be really interesting just to take a second and to look at what we're looking at, right? So you have the prologue in No Church in the Wild. You have Liftoff, Neighbors in Paris, Otis, Gotta Have It as a scene. I'm sorry, in New Day, right? So it's like Liftoff, we're in Paris, we're like luxury rap. Like I got everything. I'm looking forward to what's happening and then boom, scene. We get That's My, right? Talking about Jay, talking about B and how incredible she is. But at the same time, it's like this thing that Jay deals with throughout his career, which is like, I have somebody as incredible as Beyonce. And at the same time, I'm like struggling with my mental health. You get that. And now we got 3 tracks left. We got 3 tracks left. So let's do it. This is something like a holler. That's a very ironic line in 2026. That's not funny, but it's funny. Here we go. Who's gonna stop me? Who's gonna stop me, huh?
Black cars, black on black bras, whole lot of money in a black bag, black strap, you know what that's for. Who's gonna stop me, huh? stop me, huh? Yeah, who gon' stop me? Snow breaks in these state farm. So many watches, I need 8 arms. One neck, but got 8 charms. Who gon' stop me, huh? Niggas talking, they dicks made. Ixnay off my dicks made. That's pig Latin. It's big. Who gon' stop me?
He's gotta be one of the funniest rappers. Niggas talking they bitch made. Ixnay off my dixnay. That's pig Latin. Ich bay. Who gonna stop me, huh? Is hilarious. That's actually the one part in this entire song that always jumps out to me.
Last night ain't go so well. Got kicked up at the hotel. Got a little freaky like Marvin Albert. Yes, tell I was wholesale. You just a commentator. If you get me paper, everybody I know from the hood got common haters. In some relations, you just supposed to say none. Heard she fucked the door, man. Well, that's cool. I fucked the waitress. Heard Yeezy was racist. Well, I guess it's someone faces.
I only like green faces.
This is something like the Holocaust. Millions of our people lost. Our heads and feet to the law.
Which I think is, once again, they're doing this thing at this section of the album where they're exploring these juxtapositions. And I know it's a rap album. Sometimes people are like, just vibe. They're exploring the juxtaposition where in the hook, they're like, listen, there are people who are literally being unalived on a daily basis across the country. And at the same time, man, I'm out here getting money. Man, I'm out here fucking hoes. Like that juxtaposition is like, it's who gonna stop me? I know this is happening out there and I'll speak on it, but who's gonna stop me? Who gonna stop me? It's a beautiful juxtaposition between the luxury rap, the Hermes of verses, sophisticated ignorance, right? My curses in cursive, and millions of our people lost. Those two things are at odds. And in this song, they're trying to deal with it. And at the same time, it's like, what does it matter? Who gonna stop me from continuing to do what I want to do? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Black on black bras, whole lot of money in a black bag, black strap, you know what that's for. Y'all weed purple, my money purple, y'all sleep purple, I'm open circle, yeah, broke the verse and I hope I heard this go. Who gonna stop me, beat the odds, beat the facts, but don't be watch better against the kid. Stop me, bro, I better get rich, night shift, 6 to 6, give me one shot, one pot, I show up in all white, wearing no socks, no ceiling, new coupe, they know I'm a dope boy, they don't have no proof, I'm 3 steps removed, I know how to move, it's looking like I don't know how to lose, I'm winning again, I'm at the win, I'm at the table, I'm gambling, lucky lefty, I expect a 7, I went through hell, I'm expecting heaven, I'm old, so I'm gold, and I stuck to the G code, I'm here, oh yeah, my cops ain't going nowhere, okay here, like a hair, like a rabbit, I like carrots, I'm allergic to having bunny eggs, like bro, like nope, like I ain't no joke, I can't be stopped, like nope, still be no, 2 seats in the 911, no limit on the black car, told y'all I was gonna go ham, to the ocean with my backyard,
Hey.
No lies in my verses,
Hey.
Please pardon all the curses,
Hey.
Shit gotta come in some way, fuck, when you growing up worthless, middle finger to my old life, special shout out to my old head, if it wasn't for your advice, a nigga would have been so dead, I'm living life till these niggas kill me, turn this up, every niggas feel me, I'm riding dirty trying to get filthy, Pablo, Picasso, Rocco's, rookies, graduated to diploma, and I did all of this without a diploma, graduated from the corner, you can pay me for a motherfucker phone if you wanna, street smart and a book smart, could have been a chemist cause I keep smart, only thing that stopped me is me, hey, and don't stop when the hook start, hold up.
This is something like the Holocaust. Millions of our people lost. Our heads and feet to the law. Till I die, I'm the fucking law.
That's it. That's the thesis. Also, Jay snapped. Like, absolutely snapped here. And after all of that, like, which if you're a Childish Gambino fan, a song on here called Sweatpants. My father on half a moment and did it with no diploma. You're off, I got no stools. That, like, Childish Gambino is referencing in here where Jay-Z says, graduated to the moment and did it with this without a diploma. So like that that juxtaposition and that reference is there. And once again, he's like, millions of our people lost. Bow your heads and pray to the Lord. Till I die, I'm in ball. Now, who gonna stop me? Like, it's that is the life that they're in. You can't get to the place of being luxury rap. Backs on backs. It's just blacks on blacks on blacks. You can't get to that point if you're not willing to, at some point, deal with the fact of like, oh man, all this bad stuff is happening out there to black folks. Oh no. Also, Bosso Hom is gonna find me. Like that's what they're exploring here. So, and they go right into
Black cars, black on black, black bras, whole lot of money in a black bag, black strap, you know what that's for? Bloody murder. Take a free murder, black on black murder. Take a free murder, black on black murder. Just to the memory, fanboy Henry. Too much enemy fire to catch friend.
once again, we've seen thematically, if this is right, this is a concept album. We've seen thematically up to this point where like they start out with just incredible amounts of opulence. There's no church in the wild. We formed a new religion, right? Like, man, I'm out here last night, sunglasses and Advil. Last night was mad real, right? We gonna take it to the moon, take it to the stars, right? Like, if you escape what I escape, you being paired skinned up too. Like, they ain't see me because I pulled up in my other bins. Last week I was in my other bins, right? What you need, I got it. And you know what? I'm gonna raise my kid to be better than me because I am better than what I grew up with. And man, I've got the baddest girl in the world. And also, dang, there's a lot happening in the world, and I have a lot of remorse and a lot of regrets. But like, also, like, I'm also super rich, right? And so who gonna stop me? But also, while I'm like, who gonna stop me? Also, it's like, dang. And so what we've seen is little bits, is like from a thematic standpoint, as much as they want to separate themselves as being this new version of Black, right? That has made it, has succeeded. Okay, they've done it. You can't disconnect yourself for what it means to be Black and connected to Blackness, as hard as you might try, as rich as you might become, right? Even if you're in a Benz, you're still a nigga in a coupe, right? OJ be like, I'm not Black, I'm OJ. Okay, right? Like, as much as you'll try to push, and this song is when they just can't ignore the paper anymore, and they got to deal with it.
Grace from the same shade, nigga, we on the same team. Giving you respect, I expect the same thing. All Black everything, nigga, you know my fresh coat. My fight for you, don't increase my stress though. Niggas watching stone, very happy to meet you. Power to the people, when you see me, see you. And I'm from the murder capital, where they murder for capital. Heard about at least 3 killings this afternoon. Looking at the news like them, I was just with them after school. No shop class, but had the school gather too. And I could die any day type attitude. Plus his little brother got shot repping his avenue. It's time for us to stop and redefine Black power. 41 souls murdered in 50 hours. The paper murder.
So you get Jay-Z, who's like, yo, I'm out here fighting for you. Don't increase my stress load. Like, watch the throne. I'm very happy to be you. Power to the people. When you see me, when you see my success, when you see the things, you see you. And Ye's like, listen, I'm from the murder capital, but people murder for capital. And it is directly addressing the young folks who are involved in it. And he says, it's time for us to redefine Black power.
Black on Black murder. The paper murder. Black on Black murder. Genocide, cause I can still hear his Mama cries, know the family traumatized. Shots left holes in his face, vaporized. The old pastor closed the cold casket. They said the church ain't got enough room for all the tombs. There's a war going on outside when they safe from. I feel the pain of my city wherever I go. 314 soldiers died in Iraq. 509 died in Chicago. I arrived on the day, Fred.
So they go from being like, you know, I remain Chi-Town, Brooklyn till I die, to being like, yo, 314 soldiers died in Iraq. 509 died in Chicago.
Real niggas smoke the fly. Niggas said for 21 is supposed to die. So I'm out here celebrating my post-demise. If you put craps in the barrel to ensure your survival, you gon' end up pulling down niggas who look just like you. What up, blood? What up, cuz? It's all black. I love us. The papery murder. Black on black murder. The papery murder. Black on black murder, damn. Black on black murder, damn. Black on black murder, damn. It's a celebration of black excellence. Black tie, black Maybachs. Yeah. Black excellence, opulence, decadence, Texas next to the president. I'm present, I dress in dress. And other boutique stores and patties, the sheepskin coats, I silence the man. Do you know who I am, Gladys? No cheap cologne, whenever I success never smells so sweet. I stink of success, the new black elite. They say my black card bear the mark of the beast. I repeat. My religion is to be first is like church, Jesus, peace, please.
That was so interesting that in here he's like, hey, listen, I grew up in every bit of the violence that we're talking about. And now I'm out here in Texas next to the president. Right? But then he also addresses the fact that, like, man, folks who look like me, because he talks about crab in the barrel, folks who look like me say that, you know, my entire success, that my black card bears the mark of the beast. Like, because, you know, if you grew up around this time, you know that every YouTube, like if you go on YouTube, if you went on YouTube at the time, it was like, oh, Jay-Z, the Illuminati, when they're doing this, and he does this, that's the Illuminati. That's the Illuminati, right? Throw your diamonds in the sky if you feel the vibe. That's because Kanye. And then in Kanye, in the Power music video, it wasn't the sword of Damocles. No. It was actually a demonic spirit that's trying to possess. This spirit is trying to get into your spirit. And it's trying to lay residence through this, this demonic spirit. But I prophetically call out the demonic Kanye West spirit that's trying to get into your spirit. Like, man, it's, you know. So I think that there's an element here that when they're talking about this juxtaposition, I keep coming back to this word, between the violence, right, murder to excellence, the violence that they grew up in, and now the opulence that they're in, and how they are the example of how to do each one of those two things. So yeah.
Domino, only spot a few blacks, the higher I go. What's up, well, shout out to O. That ain't enough, we gonna need a million more. Kicking the door, Biggie flow. I'm all dressed up, but nowhere to go. It's all messed up when there's nowhere to go. So we won't take the time out till we reach the T.O.P. For parolees, the whole G. So keys, low keys, we like the promised land of the OGs in the past. If you picture events like a black tie, what's the last thing you expect to see? Black guys. What's the life expectancy? Black guys. The system's working effectively. That's why I be a real man. Take care of your son. Every problem you had before this day is now done. New crib. Watch a movie. Cause ain't nothing on the news but the blues. Hit the mall. Pick up some Gucci. There ain't nothing new but the shoes. Sunday morning. Praise the Lord. You the girl that Jesus has been saving me for. So let's savor this moment and take it to the floor. Black excellence, truly yours.
And we get the end of the scene. Hey. Hey, 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 hey. So this is how they decide to explore that juxtaposition. I'm going to be an example. I'm going to become as successful as possible. I'm going to tell everybody on how to do it better. And I'm going to keep going myself, because the higher up I go, the less of us I see. I want more of us there. I want more of us in the space. The way that they decide to go about fixing it is to continue to climb to the top. And from there, we get this spot that we're in, saying, hey, everybody who led to this point has helped us get here. And as we get to these last two tracks, I just want to say thank you to everybody for the last hour and some change who's hung out with me. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me, and I'm grateful for it. My thesis for tonight is that this is the best collab album, rap collab album of all time. If you haven't, take a second to like, share, follow on Just Wayne Creative everywhere. If you're on a social platform, I'm probably there at Just Wayne Creative. It has been amazing. We got 2 more tracks to go. Let's roll.
It'll bring you out the darkness. Sweet King Martin, sweet Queen Gorilla, sweet Brother Malcolm, sweet Queen Betty, sweet Mother Mary, sweet Father Joseph, sweet Jesus.
I'm just realizing this is a different version than I'm used to.
Sweet baby Jesus.
I think. Let's try it again. This might be it. No, it's the same version.
Sweet King Martin, sweet Queen Gorilla, sweet Brother Malcolm, sweet Queen Betty, sweet Mother Mary, sweet Father Joseph, sweet Jesus. We made it in America, sweet baby Jesus. Oh, sweet baby Jesus. We made it in America, sweet baby Jesus. Ooh. Oh, sweet baby Jesus. We made it in America. I told my mama I was on the come up. She said, you going to school, I give you a summer. Then she met no ID and gave me his number. 10 years later, she driving a Hummer. Niggas hustle every day for a beat from Ye. What I do? Turn around, get them beats to J. And I'm rapping on the beats they was supposed to.
I did. I just wanted to hear the front part again.
I guess I'm getting high on my own supply. Downtown mixing facts, trying to find the magic. Started a little blog just to get some traffic. Old folks will tell you now you playing traffic. A million hits and the weird prices. Damn, South Park had them all laughing. Now all my niggas designing and we all swagging. Ignore the critics just to say we did it. This ain't no fashion show, motherfucker, we living. Martin, sweet Queen Gorilla, sweet Brother Malcolm, sweet Queen Betty, sweet Mother Mary, sweet Father Joseph, sweet Jesus. We made it in America, sweet baby Jesus.
I love the way on the song. First of all, Frank Ocean, the word for the night is juxtaposition. From Frank Ocean and what's a king to a mom? What's a mom to, I'm sorry, human beings and a mom. What's a mom to a king? What's a king to a god? What's a god to a non-believer? Like that defiant, right? Like that defiance to start the album. And to get to this point in the album where it's not defiance, which is where both Jay-Z and Kanye start this album, is they see their opulence, their wealth as defiance of the system. to get to this point in the album where it's acceptance and connection, where they see their wealth as example. They see their wealth as like a lesson from murder to excellence. So they start out, just like just dumb, right? To like, no, we made it. We made it. We can make it. That journey in the course of a collab, I would argue there was no way that Jay and Ye, sorry, there was no way that Jay and Ye weren't going to make a conceptual album. It was just never going to go down like that. It was never going to happen that Jay and Ye weren't going to make this conceptual. But even the use of Frank as a vocal between the two, I find very, very thematically beautiful.
Oh, sweet baby Jesus, you made it in America.
Sweet baby Jesus.
Ooh. Oh, sweet baby Jesus, you made it in America. I pledge allegiance to my grandma for that banana, putting our piece of Americana. Our apple power supply through Arm and Hammer. Straight out the kitchen, don't wait, Nana. Build the republic, it still stands. I'm trying to lead a nation, the leader, my little man's. On my daughter, so I'm boiling this water. The skills was lopsided, I'm just restoring order. Here comes grandma. What's up, yaya? What's that smell? Oh, I'm just boiling some agua. No papa, bad Santa. The streets raised me, brought in my bad manners. I got my liberty, chopping grams up. Street justice, I pray God understand us. I pledge allegiance to all the scramblers. This is the Star Spangled Banner.
So Ye spends his verse talking about how his mom puts him in a position to meet no ID, and that turns him into a beat dealer. And that beat dealing lands him in the spot where he becomes the person he is today, makes it in America. Jay spends it talking about how his grandma teaches him how to cook. He uses that cooking knowledge to become a street pharmacist, and through that street pharmacy is able to fund Rockefeller to make it in America. It is, so once again, it is also very fascinating to me that this song goes out of its way to directly address not just Malcolm and Martin, who are always addressed in these spaces, but goes out of its way to name Sweet Queen Coretta, Sweet Queen Betty. Like the song goes out of its way to address the impact of Black women on the growth and development of this movement, because the hook is about the civil rights movement. And then in their verses, Kanye and Jay name Black women in their lives as the catalyst for them to become the success they are today. And so they see themselves as examples of this, examples of what it means to make it in America, despite the murder to excellence, despite being in the jungle, all of that. They see themselves as that, but they acknowledge that you cannot make that. That doesn't happen without the contributions of Black women. This song is beautiful for what it represents. Hey, sweet Malcolm, sweet Queen Betty,
Sweet Mother Mary, sweet Father Joseph,
sweet Jesus. Hey, we made it in America.
Sweet baby Jesus. Oh, sweet baby Jesus.
We made it in America.
Sweet baby Jesus. Ooh. Oh, sweet baby Jesus. We made it in America.
Hey. Mm-hmm. Hey, hey, hey. Cheer. Yeah.
Sweet baby Jesus.
Jesus.
Hey, we made it in America.
Yes, we did.
Yeah. I don't do it enough, but yeah. Yeah, so hold on, time out. I had three impressions that were together at the same time. Yeah. Yeah. So, Tata said that we should, go this way. And then Ye was like, we should do it this way. And when you really think about like how B is translating this, it's just crazy. It's crazy. All right, here we go. I love you.
If you will, that the phone's burning, and I'm sitting in the corner on the phone burning. Why does it always end up like this? Something that we don't determine. Same people that I fought for, that I fight for, that I ride for, that I live for, that I die for, be the reason that these niggas is alive for, and they want me dead. I'm sorry, but I just can't die for you. But I can make them put their hands in the sky for you. We wait for the fireworks like fly for. Get fly more, get high more, cry more. Why for? When the grief is over, beef is over. I'll be fly when East is over. I try to teach niggas how to be kings, and all they ever wanted to be is soldiers. So the love is gone, the blood is strong. So we no longer wear the same uniform. Fuck you squares, the circle got smaller, the castle got bigger, the walls got taller. And truth be told, after all that said, niggas still got love for you.
So after all of that, after the entire album of grappling with what does it mean to have this much wealth in blackness, and finally being like, in acceptance, we made it. And also being in acceptance of everybody can't go. Like some folks legitimately just do not care. They're not on code. They want you gone. So I could do all of this, and I can put you on game, and I can show you how to do it. I'm trying to give you $1 million a game for $9.99. Like after all that, Jay's like, listen, everything's on fire. Rome's burning. I'm sitting in a corner, and you know what? I'm not gonna let y'all kill me. But what I will do is continue to do what I do. I'm going to protect myself, and at the end of protecting myself, I still love y'all, despite the fact that y'all don't love yourselves.
I picked up the pieces when you swept on it. God damn, this shit needs a mess, don't it? Shit feeling like death, don't it? Charge it to the game without slept on it. I spent about a minute, maybe less on it. Fly, pelican, fly, turn the jets on it. But first I shall digress on it. Was not good, king. Maybe too much of a good thing, huh? Didn't I spoil you? Me and the money, what you loyal to? Huh? I gave you my loyalty, made you royalty and royalties. Took care of these niggas' lawyer fees. And this is how niggas rewarded me. Damn. I love you so. But why I love you, I never know. Ooh. Bustin' at me, bustin' at me. But I'm bulletproof, bitch, you can't get nothing past me. Got body armor, a nigga gotta watch the throne. And I'm bustin' back, some niggas in the glass, I should not go stone. What do you do when the love turn to hate? Gotta separate from these fucking fakes. Season and see it, so cease to assist. So the nigga that killed him had keys to his shit. Am I my brother's keeper? Only if that nigga no creeper. Got a pistol under my pillow. I never been a deep sleeper. Paranoia. Cause the nigga that said he'll blast for ya is now blasting for ya. That's an assassin for ya. You niggas got a shot, yes, shoot. Please God forgive him for these niggas not know what they do. Oh.
That is one incredible way to end that album. That is how the original version of the album ends. That's how the original version of the album ends, with them on the throne. is and it is fascinating to me that they're not cool anymore. Given this last verse, that Ye feels ways about Jay and feels like some of this happened, that Jay turned his back on him. Jay definitely feels this way about Ye. He has put that on wax before. So it is so interesting. But how it ends, after all that, they're sitting on the throne. So, like I said, and like I'll continue to say, I think this is the best collab album. Now, they put out a deluxe, and there's a couple more tracks on the deluxe. We could do one real quick. Because this wasn't on the original, right? Hold on. Nope, the original ended right there. But we get a couple more tracks on the deluxe, like I forgot how this one goes.
1985 white Lamborghini Countach tour.
Yeah, that's right. To me, the deluxe tracks don't actually work thematically for the rest of the album. So we're just gonna park here. I do want to play Ham, but I'll play Ham on our way out. I think it's the greatest rap collab album of all time, not just because these two guys rap incredibly well throughout the entire album. The production is peak. Hilariously, Why I Love You is the only song on this album that sounds dated. It's the only one that sounds set in its time. But my goodness, just from start to finish, these two guys absolutely rap incredibly. From start to finish, these two guys have the great production, incredible chemistry, and the concept is beautiful. And I think it's a concept that is unique to rap in that everybody wants to stay down. Everybody wants to stay hard. And these guys are like, what do I do if I'm not? And the answer is assume the throne. So it's been Watch the Throne. And like I said, like the ticker's been going this entire time. These reviews aren't condoning or absolving anyone of any actions that they've ever committed. But this piece of art is important. These two did something absolutely incredible on this album. And I am glad that we had the chance to sit together and listen to it. So on our way out, before we leave, I actually just want to talk about this song real quick, Ham. Ham was the first single for this album. Ham was the first single for this album, and it didn't make the album because people hated it when it dropped. Like, people hated the song when it dropped, and they're like, oh, this is going to be some weird stuff. And according to the lore, Jay-Z told Kanye, do not drop that song. And Ye's like, no one knows what it means, but it's provocative. It gets people going. And people hated it. And then we're like, oh, this album's not going to be good. It ends up not making the song, ends up on the deluxe. I personally like this song. But I understand why people hated it. I understand why it would have been jarring to hear this as the first collab between these two. It was all good just a week ago. You watch the drone. Niggas gonna do hoe. It's a new crack on a new stove. You don't do that. Telling me you back. Like, I'm locked up all the I understand people hating this song. I actually really understand. I think I would have thrown me if this was the first thing I heard from the album. Especially because I'm not gonna listen to the whole thing because I actually am ready to log off. But I do love the concept of just wait ham. How the motherfucker let these? Because I said going ham all the time. Nigga, fuck your best. Fuck pig, no cover with all. T-star, cause you know a nigga just like me. All the motherfuckers know who I am. I'm about to go in. I don't know who I am. I'm about to go home. To me, this would have been the part that like really threw it. When we get here. I'm sure people are like, what is happening? What's I think super interesting is this is a great example of an artist taking a chance and learning something from it, because there's not a single song on this entire album where the beat does too much. This song, the beat's doing way too much. And I think the maximalism that they were going for on this album, and if we're being real, Kanye was a maximalist producer from around, like, if you remember, We Made You, come on, homie, we made you, like there's so much happening. There's like it's so much, right? There's a maximalism that he approaches, you know, and and it's just all of this sound, all this lushness. This album does that, but it does it tastefully. This song is not tasteful. So anyway, that's one of the bonus features on there, one of the bonus tracks. But I think I hope that you all enjoyed my little nerd out through this album. So like I said, I think everything's a conceptual album if you look at it hard enough. We will be back probably on Saturday, going to the next album and taking another album off the wall. This has been For the Record. We're taking an album off the wall. We talk about the context, what was happening when the album dropped, and also where it met us, the content, what was happening on the record, talk about a hot take from the record, and ultimately just take the time to enjoy the album together. I'm just Wayne. I appreciate your time that you've got a chance to spend with me tonight reviewing Watch the Throne. I love y'all, and until next time, be easy.